Hello, and welcome to Chapter 3 of our Stranger Things Season 2 commentary. This one entitled The Pollywog. And picking up where we left off, obviously Dustin found himself a critter of sorts.
A trash critter.
Yeah. Little 80s creature feature reference there for you guys. I kind of wonder if that's actually what that scene was supposed to be. For all of you who don't know, there's the film with the Critters films, but started in the 80s.
We don't talk about those.
Those are fucking fun movies. Shut up, you. I'm not even gonna have that conversation again. This is the kind of stuff we argue about in our loving household. Ooh, that was a little Jonesy hiss. But yeah, no, the Critters film, the first one, at one point they hear like a disturbance in the dumpster outside, you know.
That laugh.
I know. So I'm just kind of wondering. Just like this.
It's so sweet, yet somehow makes me so uncomfortable.
That is so bizarre. Oh, shit. But yeah, no, so I don't know. It just reminded me very much of that film, which I'm sure, given the Duffer Brothers' affinity for 80s, you know, monster movies and what have you, was probably not a coincidence. So, big ups to them for that.
So here's my question.
Luckiest animal in the whole movie.
I was gonna say.
Ooh, there we go.
I kind of forgot, like, what did he do before with the turtle? Like, does the turtle get to go back in? We just never see the turtle again.
Did
he just let it die? Like, fuck you, you don't get your heat lamp anymore.
He's got the Pollywog now, man. He's, like, upgraded in his pet game. So, obviously, this is a little, more than a little, of Gremlins-esque. Obviously, you know, guy, your boy, you know, gets new weird little creature pet, which, you know, not surprisingly, is going to perhaps, you know, go through a type of metamorphosis throughout the course of the story.
I like how, sorry, what?
No, I was just going to say right away, that's a little clue. Notice how it doesn't like the heat. That's a little kind of clue already being dropped here. One that might go unnoticed the first time you watch it, but having already seen this, I'm hoping you guys already saw this. D'Artagnan, love that. But that, you know, you'll kind of notice now, obviously, what's to come. You know, him not liking the heat or the light is in a weird way a big kind of like indication of something.
Yeah.
But again, I like stories that do this. They start dropping nuggets that, when you look back in hindsight, you're like, oh my god, they look at all these pieces to the puzzle.
Nuggets.
You know,
or nougats.
Nougats.
Anyways, what I was going to say was I love how, being a child, he instinctively was like, I like candy, so I'll just feed you candy. Don't feed your pets candy, people. You'll most likely kill them.
Yeah, the 80s kind of misled us a lot about, when you find a strange creature, don't feed it candy. Oh.
Gross. He's got a little something going on there. Having a little stomach problem. Probably the nougat. Because you don't feed candy to things.
That's kind of like me the next morning after Chipotle.
Oh.
I'm like, my sides start heaving. I'm like, oh no.
As long as you don't sprout extra legs.
I feel you, Dart. Well, jeez, in a weird way, sometimes it feels like I am. Oh.
Wow.
Gross.
Used to it.
Yeah, hey. You married this, damn it.
Desensitized.
Desensitized, yeah. But yeah, no, so right away, I like how it's a little something different now. We have kind of like the boy and his pet creature kind of thing, you know. And I also kind of love how Stranger Things now has become like a little world unto itself, where now it's no longer if there's a monster or a creature out there, it's a really abnormal thing. Now it's like, you know, in this little town of weirdness, it's you know, it's kind of normal, if you will, to have, okay, I'm a kid and I'm raising a little, well, you know what I mean, where now you can have that where, okay, you're no longer kind of spooked by the idea of there being a creature, but you can now have one as kind of a pet. I mean, it's not going to end well, folks, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We live now, Stranger Things has become less of the real world that's being touched by something otherworldly, and now this little town has kind of become this other world in and of itself. It's a microcosm of strangeness where, you know, kids have little pet monsters and there's kids with psychic abilities, and you know what I mean? It's kind of, it reminds me of that show Erie, Indiana. I think I mentioned it maybe in season 1, where it kind of feels like a more mature version of that show.
Or for you new kids, Gravity Falls.
Yeah. Well, they even said that Gravity Falls, they were influenced by Indiana.
He's like, Oh, shit.
And there we have the faith meeting.
It's like, my God.
Look at her. And you can tell she's wanted this for so long. You can tell she's so, like, desperate for... Oh. Love that. Because you know she wants to. She's just, stubborn.
Yeah.
But...
Her eyes. She's like,
what?
You know what? I can be mad later.
Listen, yeah. Oh my God.
Except for like the weird gummy stuff on there, that looks pretty awesome.
Speaking of junk food, holy shit.
Yeah.
He gets like major dad points for like being a cool dad, but he gets like minus negative 20 parenting points for feeding her that. It's like, give the kid a carrot stick or something just to balance that out. It's gonna give poor 11 their diabetes. Wilford Brimley's gonna have to come in and give her an infomercial. There's a hint of Romeo and Juliet here. I know with like her and Mike, and I say that hesitantly because I'm actually not a fan of Romeo and Juliet because I know it's a classic and Shakespeare is Shakespeare. But if you really read that story, there, Juliet is a dumb, naive, basically princess, and Romeo's just a dumb little horn dog. You know what I mean? In the beginning of the story, he's completely in love with another girl, then he lays eyes on her and is like, "Yes, I will have sex with that." He basically. But this idea of that their pairing being problematic, it's like problematic for different reasons, but putting them together is dangerous. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go.
And this is why you don't anger your little psychic.
Yeah, and again, that's the difference here. While they're both stubborn, you slammed that door, girl.
Yeah,
damn.
And I kind of feel like maybe he kind of forgets.
Yeah. I love how I kick that table. Oh, fuck you, I'll kick the shit out of this table.
I know.
But it's one of those things where they're both very similar, yet they're kind of, in terms of the age spectrum and like maturity, they're kind of the opposite end. She's still very much a child, where he's basically he's staying over. And she's still a seasoned adult. So you're basically seeing kind of that personality, Oh boy.
No, don't say it like that, Bob.
Yeah, don't say it like that, Bob. Sounds like it's a van that you're gonna hand out candy to the back of. But anyway, but you know what I mean. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like I can see Hopper when he was a kid being kind of a little asshole like that.
Oh yeah. Well, they even kind of made it sound like he was kind of a
little bit of a delinquent, yeah. So I'm sure for him this is frustrating because he knows exactly what she's gonna do. Okay, is it wrong, wife of mine, that this whole look that she's got going on just does it for me? Like, is that wrong? Is it wrong that if maybe I came home one day and you were just kind of,
nah, it's okay.
Maybe on my birthday you just kind of answer the door rocking that look, that I'd be kind of like, all right.
Some grandma glasses.
I've got some overdue library books.
Wow.
I
just build a whole set, get the desk and everything.
Ooh, don't even tease me like that. She just takes them. Love him.
Again, Dustin is the best one. He's
now
my fave.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now this whole sequence right here, now, I remember for you, didn't you tell me that you thought this was alluding to that perhaps Bob here was a little
You guys obviously, again, are assuming you've
Okay, yeah, like I said, full disclosure, we're going to speak as if you have seen this whole thing. So if we're spoiling shit for you, that's on you. But yeah, please continue.
Yeah, like, obviously after this whole monologue, like, the way they have the music cue in, not the happy music that's playing right now, but obviously you'll see as the scene kind of goes on.
Yeah.
Not to mention what he's talking about is creepy. But, like, it just seems like he's, essentially going to be telling Will to...
Exactly what to do.
In order to get,
Possessed, basically, yeah.
And look at even the color. The color of the scene just got a lot cooler and darker.
Yeah, it's...
like it just, I don't know. It was so off-putting for me the first time I watched it. Because I was like, oh God, are they going to make him evil or bad?
Well, it's kind of interesting because you find out that there's a lot of like basically like psychic possession in this season. It's more about, again, like Lovecraftian, cosmic horror kind of thing. So it would not be at all out of the bounds of like, people. I mean, again, if you guys, this whole season, basically, for anyone who are familiar with Lovecraft's work, this whole season of Stranger Things is basically a version of Call of Cthulhu. And full of people who are following in these cults that are kind of, unbeknownst to them, being controlled, manipulated by Cthulhu from other dimensions, and it's like his influence is basically infecting people all over the world, and that without maybe even them realizing they're in essentially enacting his own will. So this could have very much have been that. It's like kind of the influence of Cthulhu seeping into our world, and I mean, ultimately that's not what ends up being with him. But the fact that it makes you wonder that, I think, is part of the charm of this season. You kind of question everything. Not everything is so on the surface. I mean, as cool as Season 1 was, and I love Season 1, and I actually like Season 1 equal to this. I don't really like one better than the other because they feel like very different stories. Season 1 was pretty black and white in terms of, like, we know what the story is. It's a creature feature. There's a monster. It's running around. It's eating people. We got to stop it. Go. This one is a lot more subversive. This one deals more with paranoia and fear and, like, who can we trust? Who's who? Even the government agents in this one, like at the lab. In the first season, we knew they were bad. From moment one, we knew they were the bad guys. Like Matthew Modine's character, you never once thought, oh, maybe he's... No, you knew he was an evil piece of shit right away. Here, Paul Reiser's character, to the very end, we were wondering... I'd heard this story too when I was a kid. I'd heard about this example. But in my science class, no less. But yeah, no, we were always wondering... who's on the level and who's maybe, not what they appear to be. And that's what this season does exceptionally well. It kind of makes you question kind of everyone and everything you're hearing. Please continue with the class, man. If I would have done that back in the day, holy shit. Mm-hmm. Front row doing that. Bullshit. There's your science fiction in this story right here. Front row.
Then again, he knows these kids.
Yep, yeah, but still. Okay. Did he say yes, my lord?
I think so.
God. I remember those overhead things where you would put like the clear, like plastic.
Come show your work. And then you would do it, and it was awkward and hot.
Yeah, and you could never write. I didn't know how the teachers could ever write on that. I tried to write on that, and it looked like Sanskrit or something on it.
Oh, your writing's terrible.
Well, yeah, but imagine on those things, it was like... Well, ironically enough, I had that...
And then, like, they would try to clean them, but eventually
it would
just get all smudgy and gross.
Yeah. It's really dark. I love these guys. God, I really hope these guys somehow get in the know later on because they're so much fun. And I kind of think if he had these guys on the level with all of them, they could be a really big help to him.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know him so well. They know his mannerisms, and they put up with a lot of his crap, too. Let's be real. He's kind of an abusive asshole with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It's like, son of a bitch.
Because I'm a badass.
Hopper is a badass man.
I know.
If they ever remade Die Hard, properly remade Die Hard, not do that weird Die Hard prequel that I heard they were doing, which I hope never happens. No. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into it. But I'm just saying, like, make a proper remake. He should play him. Bruce Willis's character. It's like she's gonna strip a gun and put it back together when she does that. Uh-oh. She's got a coat on indoors. What's that mean, folks?
Someone's gonna be a bad girl, breaking the rules, leaving the fire, apparently, as you're gonna leave. That's dangerous. Come on, Elle.
Don't do it. Oh, don't do it. But seriously, do it. But don't do it. Don't do it. Do it. Okay, here we're gonna have the, coming up, the official meme of season 2. I like how she mirrors his action. It's so adorable.
I know.
So I'm wondering, is this where? Oh no, this is like his grandfather's place. I think you said. That was his daughter's right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little reminder. But I'm glad this season 2 they don't like beat you over the head with it either. I mean, we saw in season 1 what happened, so we don't need a constant reminder. But just little nods like that kind of remind you, like, yeah. And how kind of awkward this must be a little bit for him too, because I'm kind of wondering it too. They don't really explore this in this season, but I'm kind of curious to know in terms of his character psyche. Is there a bit of guilt for him?
I'm sure, yeah.
Because I'm not saying he blames or resents Elle at all, but when he sees her, he kind of feels like there was somebody supposed to be us here instead. You know what I mean? And this person doesn't get to have that.
Well, and I don't think it's. Are you talking about
his daughter? Like instead of
I was gonna say I don't think it's just that. I think it's also the fact that it's kind of like opposite his situation where his daughter's gone, and he's still there. I love this. Look at him. He's
there it is.
But
look, hope. And then he starts moving the hips.
The best.
No, I don't like that. Never mind. He went from being kind of cool, hip, older guy. Then he did the ultimate white move dad dance. Then she's like, no, never mind.
But yeah, it's the opposite with Elle because obviously her mom, as we find out, I mean, we've already found out, but as she finds out, is still there, but not really.
Not really, yeah. Not in the capacity she would need her.
So basically, they kind of have opposite situations, which makes sense for them to be together in that sense.
But again, I think they both, in a weird way, feel guilty, like that her mom can't be the one doing this, and for Hopper, it's his daughter that he can't be doing this with. And because of that, they kind of fill the void for each other. But yeah, I'm sure there's a degree of like guilt. And again, it's either one of theirs fault, and I love how they don't take it out on each other. But at the same time, it's like, this is really sweet. I like this.
Yeah.
Is it wrong that I would almost like to see maybe like a little in-between special of just them together when there was like this,
I know.
Just like a 1 hour special, just because it's so like, I know it'd be just milking out of the franchise at this point, but still, it's so, I don't know. For two characters that had such little interaction in the first season, their pairing in this one feels so kind of right.
Yeah.
Because they are the two most damaged characters in this whole, series.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, you know what I mean? I mean, I know, it kind of felt like it was Mike and Elle as the little duo, but in reality, she has more in common with Hopper. And because of that, I think Hopper is the natural choice as her kind of guardian, basically, or for parental figure, because he just kind of gets it. He might not be the best man for the job in terms of just his parenting skills, but in terms of just kind of getting her, he may not always be what she wants him to be, but he'll always kind of be what she needs him to be, and that's what's important. And by her almost kind of being a little damaged by the world, I think it makes it easier on him because here's a person who, like him, doesn't see the world through rose-colored glasses. She gets it. She gets it, there's a lot of bad shit out there. Ooh, breaking the law, breaking the law.
She's like, I'm a rebel.
I love how she's just like a grubby little 80s kid now.
I know.
I love it. Almost the only gets missing right now, she's using her psychic kinetic ability to like slick back her own hair.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Oh, look at that horrible, horrible mullet. It's so era appropriate, but it's
painful.
Yeah, but it's so good. Right. I love how they commit to the hair. I love that, like, whoa, we won't really make it. No. Oh. Okay, this part was right here. Yeah. I guess it took him like 4 or 5 times to do that, they said. And they kept telling him, don't, because you'll never get it. And he got that shot. And apparently, he almost thought he ruined it because he makes a look on his face that is truly breaking character. Because
he couldn't believe he made it.
Yeah, he had this shocked look. But if you look, the camera pans up past his face up.
I noticed that.
So because the camera followed the ball and then stay on his face, you didn't see that his face. It essentially saved in the shot. There's a similar thing in Alien Resurrection where Sigourney Weaver wanted to make the shot where she throws the basketball like behind her and it just hits, and she did it like 20 times. And the last time she got it, and the problem in Ron Perlman, like if you watch as soon as it goes through the hoop, it cuts away real quick because Ron Perlman apparently like goes, "Holy shit, yeah!" And he was like, "Oh no, I ruined the take." So it's kind of funny that a similar thing kind of happened here. Yeah, there was a lot of bullshit that night. Everything was bullshit. We were partying. Let's party. Parties are bullshit.
Jesus.
No, she played that scene really well. I'm not making fun of her, but it's just so funny because I started doing that at work to people. Just start taking a thing we're doing and just saying it over and over again. And they're just saying it's bullshit. And some of them get it, some of them don't. They go back in there, he's literally killing them. He's like stabbing them all. Like, whoa.
And here's the thing.
I just can't even right now. Yeah, you're bullshit. It's bullshit. Why don't you go party?
Steve, your short shorts are kind of bullshit.
It was the 80s, okay?
I know.
We were all there for a little bit.
But what I was going to say was, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. His shorts.
Scene's past. I'll say it next time.
The next time you see him, those glorious short shorts.
Had nothing to do with the short shorts.
It has everything to do with the short shorts. It's funny, the show's so 80s, yet every once in a while you see like this really good CGI.
Yeah. Do you know what that feels like, Lucas? Living boogers?
They did this actually really well because they were actually handling nothing right here. I know there was a few times they had like a stunt.
Ball or something.
Yeah, but right here when it had to be kind of in motion, that was all them pantomiming. So they kind of animate.
No, they said they had a ball.
But not for this scene. They show when they were doing
Awesome.
that part where they're passing it around and it was nothing in their hands.
Oh.
So it's interesting because then they have the animators. It's funny. I don't know if you already said it or not. I might have missed it. Right here, I think that's the. Yeah, these scientific terms are one of them. Actually, a biologist actually gave the show props for doing enough research for the classifications. Except the classification that Dustin used wasn't classified till 1986.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's actually a little. It's scientifically inaccurate, not because it's inaccurate, but that
time.
classification was not determined until like 2 years later. But he even said, like, you know what, I let it go. I didn't bother because the fact that the show went into the trouble to do the research to get the right classification. Most television and movies, they don't do that, he said. So the fact that they cared enough to do that and have this kid use...
In my trash.
Yeah. But yeah, because he used investigative science to determine something. He's like... Will's like, I think that's mine, bro. But no, I was gonna say that because the kids were pantomiming that whole scene, the digital animators basically animated Dart's behavior around their acting, which is kind of cool.
By
So
the
that's
way,
supposed to be them reacting to him.
I like how they just kind of left Will.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Wow.
Will's just kind of used to it at this point. Hey. Yeah, you want that
She's so
baloney.
adorable.
I know. You know, when we had sex, that was fun. I liked it when you let me do that. You know, it's kind of funny here when they're going to talk about a little bit about Bob, and you get the sense that Bob was very much not the cool kid in school, and that she kind of was. I don't think she was like head cheerleader cool, but she was one of the cool kids, one of the in crowd. And basically he's going to kind of say a little bit too. Look at her face. She's so sweet to spare his feelings the way she does. But, basically kind of implying that, once upon a time as a kid, he would have never been in a position to date, someone like her. That, as by becoming adults and what have you, the playing field kind of level. So kind of for him, he kind of feels like everything in his life is finally kind of falling together. He just had to wait for kind of life to catch up to him a little bit, or get old enough in a sense where all the kind of the bullshit of being young, no longer matters.
Mama bear mode.
She's like Bev from
Goldberg's.
yeah, right there. Hey, Goonies never say die. See, I love this right here. Is
Because they're bullies.
yeah, but again, it just kind of shows you like, in a weird way, it's guys like him that were like kind of the are really kind of the strongest characters because they're, for a lot of these
They've endured
characters,
a lot.
yeah, I know, this stuff is happening to them. Granted, they're not going to have stuff like this caliber happen to them, but
Yeah.
he's accustomed to life.
Shitting on him.
Exactly. So, in a weird way, when he was in the car, he was just trying to give Will advice.
Yeah.
He was just trying to help because he knows. I mean, he realizes what it's like, and when he goes, "This is what you got to do." Whereas someone who's kind of been the tough person, like a guy like Hopper. Look what happened to Hopper. I mean, granted, when something happened to him, it was really terrible. But I think also Hopper's more sensitive to that too because he was the cool kid in school. You know what I mean? He was the badass. No one was bullying him. No one was quote unquote rubbing his nose in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's not accustomed to when life hit him hard. Whereas a guy like Bob, it's like, well, shit comes in varying degrees of severity, but shit comes regardless. So okay, right here. Is Paul Reiser just telling him what he thinks he wants to hear to throw him off the case? Or does legitimately being serious, like, I don't think there's anything here? And I love how this is a power play right here. So right here, he's like... And him... Yeah, Hopper's... Yes! Again, he tried to throw the jurisdictional, like, I'm the government, and Hopper's like, listen here, fuckface. And you see right there, I'm not saying Hopper was a bully growing up, but Paul Reiser's character strikes me more maybe as a kid, as a Bob. And, Hopper was more of the, tough guy in school. So right away, he kind of, not becomes a bully, but he uses maybe some bully tactics. So he kind of looms over and is like, listen here, motherfucker. You're going to do what I say or else.
Now that we're on about Nancy again, what I was going to say before was that, the whole first season, Steve was the douche.
Yes.
But now it's kind of like, everyone, the joke was, Nancy deserves better. But I kind of feel like this season, like, I understand she's got some shit going on.
But that Steve maybe deserves better.
But yeah, that's the whole joke, now. Where
she's
like,
kind of being...
Season 1, she deserved better. Season 2, he deserved better.
Yeah,
especially because these guys kind of have a thing going on now, clearly.
I think we all kind of knew this was going to happen, even though at the end of season 1, like, oh, she stayed with Steve because she stayed with Steve because he's a good guy, and I kind of think there was a sense of obligation with her.
Well, I think it was almost for like the kind of familiarity aspect for it after everything that happened,
especially everything surrounding his family. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird, but ultimately, I think it's opposites kind of attract, and I think he kind of spoke a lot to what she was feeling. I mean, look at her mom. She married like the most boring man on the planet, and he even kind of told her, "It's like, is that what you want for your life? Just marry some boring guy and being some boring housewife in a cul-de-sac." And deep down, she wants more than that.
Yeah.
And Steve is talking about, well, maybe I shouldn't go to college. Well, maybe I should just take over my dad's business.
But it's just the fact that
he wants to be a very play it safe life, and he's kind of, I know, but at the same time, it's like, it's still a douchey move, no matter why you do it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And do what? But yeah.
No, I know what you mean, and I agree.
Again, I'm not trying to make Nancy into the bad guy, because she's not, but it's just like, I feel like she did kind of, she basically showed her true colors when she was drunk, and you can't use the excuse, I was drunk.
Again,
That's like, you're most honest.
No. When you're drunk, you say what you feel, you don't make shit up, trust me.
So, that's what she did wrong. She shouldn't have stayed with him if she didn't actually care.
People lie when they're sober, now when they're drunk, trust me. No, I know what you... Again, it's not bad. It's just... It's circumstantial.
Yeah.
It's the circumstances that suck, but at the same time, you kind of have to... You kind of have to, do what you got to do. Okay, right here, by the way, this is a really depressing story to be telling.
Yeah, I was going to say, fucking Hop, like, what are you doing, guy? What are you doing?
That's what I'm kind of saying. Hop is like, he's a cool guy, but maybe he doesn't always make the best parental choices. I'm really depressed. Let me read her this depressing story.
Which obviously she finds out isn't true.
I mean, he's not lying per se,
Yeah.
but his choice of words obviously imply
Yeah.
something else that's not accurate to what actually is the situation. But I think in his mind, though, he's thinking that's the best way to protect her because,
Spare, yeah.
well, it's like, what are you going to do?
Let me go on with this depressing story.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, you look happy. Let me read you the end of this. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, what is she going to do? Yeah, your mom's alive. And here's your mom. And then she's basically a vegetable. And it's like, oh. That little girl's like, I don't know about this shit.
I'm like, that's a little much. You should have just maybe moved it, not actually have
um.
not made a scene.
Well, again, she's not really, you know.
Mama Bear mode engaged.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I
Top
love
loaders.
this. She's like, how does this work?
I never had it. Oh, yeah. Funny thing, I've never had a top loader.
Me neither.
They were kind of phased out.
Also, Radio Shack.
Speaking of retro relics from the past.
In English.
It's like when I have my tech friends explain me stuff, and I'm like, let me stop you right there. Don't start at the beginning. Start before the beginning, because as soon as you start talking, I lost you. It's funny. My dad had one of the really fancy camcorders. They actually had the full size VHS tape inside.
Mm-hmm.
So
My dad had one of those that I used when I was really, really little.
yeah, no, a lot of our old home movies were recorded on that thing.
It's a little weird to me that they recorded the people that they got candy from still.
Well, you know, I just think it's amazing the kid got to use it. Like when I was a kid, if I was,
I
hey
know.
Dad, can I go out and take your camera around? My dad would look at me like,
no, hell no, hell no.
my dad would have roundhouse kicked me to the head before he let me borrow that thing. But see, I'm wondering, did they have someone right there recording with a camcorder when he did that
What do you mean?
to get those same shots with that video quality?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Unless they had them recreate it.
Probably.
Oh, I love this. How you can start.
Oh, I know.
That is so cool. When I saw that, I was like, that
See
is
the
awesome.
fucking outline?
See, right here, this is the equivalent when they saw that photo of Nancy, and you could see the Demogorgon, kind of the far right corner. That's what that is right there. It's like in the shot, but it's not quite clear what it is. I love the music right here too.
So unsettling.
I know, it's all like disjointed sounding. Oh shit. I love it, yeah. And she's probably like, oh no, not again.
I know.
That is kind of cool that, again, in a weird way, kind of... Well, it's one of the things where I don't think you could actually see it literally in the sky. I think it's because through the camera, it was some kind of, like... It kind of filtered the reality in a weird way, where it kind of give you, like, a glimpse of it. Oh. I was always wondering what he would do if they actually... I wonder if he's going to be brought into the fold, because season 3, they're going to be in high school.
Yeah.
So in theory, he wouldn't be their teacher anymore. But I'm wondering if they'll go back to him, maybe. Clark is... I'm wondering... I hope they bring him back for season 3, and I kind of hope
He's
that...
like, oh...
Yeah, screw it.
That turns me on so much that you're such an asshole to her.
What's that white kind of eyeliner stuff that girls used to wear back then? Is there wrong that I like that look?
No.
Is it wrong that I like all the looks of the 80s? Even the ones that aren't good? It's so douchey they do that to her.
Yeah.
Like, either she's
But
in
at
or
the
she's
same
out.
time, technically they are under government, like,
Well, yeah, but then why
perhaps
even,
too.
like...
I know. Well, because those two had the thirst.
The thirst. Jesus Christ.
They were thirsty.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be in high school in season 3, so they're going to be, like, parched. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess this is pre-7, so, Finn. You know, he goes from the Death Star. I love those references, though. Ooh. Get it, girl. Don't let those boys keep you out. Ooh, the tension. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, yeah, this is...
Yeah, he's gotten bigger.
Yeah, and he gets his leggies.
Ooh.
Gross.
Dustin's like, oh! Even the music right here, it's so Gremlins.
I know. Oh, no. I will hurt him.
Mike's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking hurt him. I'm gonna hurt the shit out of this little bastard. Oh. I wonder if she knows.
I know.
Like, oh, at least they're under my roof this time. Again, I get a sense that her mom was like kind of the cool girl at school too, so she knows what's up. Now, this is a great... What they're doing here, I love, because I didn't spot this coming. It's a great plan, and it looks like their plan is failing. By the way, that's like a Freddy Krueger sweater. I just want to point that out right now. But anyway... But no, this is a great little bit of misdirection on the part of the Duffer Brothers that even I didn't catch, and I kind of always pat myself on the back to being able to spot all the little tropes and surprises, just because, again, I've watched movies like this and shows like this literally since before I can remember. So, you know, I can usually see this stuff coming a mile away, and this actually took me by surprise.
Well, and to be fair, I don't think we gave Nancy enough credit.
And I think that's the point, but that's not because of she's a bad. It's by design.
Yeah,
she was kind of written in the beginning to kind of have us underestimate her.
Yeah,
only to as a character to have her surprise us pleasantly, and you're like, wow, okay, there's so many more layers to all these characters than we thought, especially in this season. Like, nothing is really on the surface. Not that it was like that in the first season, but you could basically kind of read a lot of these characters' things more easily. This season, there's more going on with each individual character, but it doesn't feel convoluted. It feels very organic, and I don't know. I like this season does what a second season. Yeah,
it's like I'm on the fucking warpath. Somebody didn't follow one of the 3 simple rules.
Yeah, but no, this season does exactly what it should have done. Is capture the same kind of magic this first season did, but deepen everything necessary.
Yeah.
Add more layers to everything.
Well, and it's funny because some people don't like the season as much. To which I say,
some people
crazy.
did, but then I met some people who actually loved it more, like a lot more. But nobody just. The good thing is nobody disliked the season. I haven't met anyone who did not like the season, but I think for like a lot of people, like for a movie franchise, they like the franchise, but their favorite's always the first one. And I kind of feel in classic '80s fashion, for franchises, usually people like the first one the best. Not again because the other ones are quote unquote bad, but the first one is the first one, and therefore it kind of holds a special place in people's heart. But I like them equally because they're different. Like, honestly, if I'm in the mood to watch season 2 of Stranger Things, I'm not really in the mood to watch season 1. Because if you look at it as the point of a movie, it's something different.
Yeah.
And that's what the key thing to remember. They do different things, and they're telling different stories. And I think that's why Alien and Aliens work so well. When I watch Aliens, I want to watch Aliens. I want to watch a Vietnam War movie in space. I love that. And when I watch Alien, I want to see a gothic horror film in space. They kind of satisfy different hungers. And I think season 1 and season 2. Look at that freaking jump kick. But yeah, no, that's all I was saying. But no, I this is funny, this little game of cat and mouse. Oh.
And of course, they make it look like.
Yeah. I love the lighting in the scene right here. Hey. Love all this right here. I didn't think it would be even funnier right there. She would have just whacked him with a skateboard. Just like cracked him upside the head. Correct. Oh yeah, you're annoying. The thing is, she's kind of the coolest character in your party. There's just a cool kid. She's kind of cooler than all of you.
No.
It could be.
No, it couldn't.
Oh, I don't know. When you see the end of this season, Zoomer's kind of a helpful thing.
I know.
Zoomer kind of becomes the MVP of the party. I don't know. When I saw what happens at the end, I was like, yeah, everyone should have a Zoomer in their party. That's such a good look for her. I love tomboyish looks on girls. I don't know. I've always thought that's a cool. Like, I kind of figure if we ever have a daughter, it'll be like that. Oh,
I was a huge tomboy as a child, so.
You kind of still are.
Well, it's true. I love that.
Oh.
Fuck you, bitch. Even though it kind of backfired, it just made him help her.
Look at him. He's like, actually.
The fuck?
Again, I also shows how emotionally kind of sensitive Eleven is, because again, just seeing that was enough to kind of just make, I mean,
I think it's one of those things where, again, because the bonds she makes with people are so strong, and because she hasn't had a lot of experience in terms of different relationships with people, it's like you said, it's really,
like you said, she can form the bond, but she doesn't have kind of the emotional maturity or that Reagan picture in the fall, damn. Or what's the word I'm looking for? Not just maturity, but kind of a emotional stamina that kind of deal with like kind of the rigors of like those kinds of bonds. So she likes to make them, but when they kind of get hard to maintain, when they have rough patches, it's difficult.
I don't even know if you could put it that way, because for her, I don't know if she'd understand.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're getting along with somebody else doesn't mean they're going to forget about you.
Well, I think in terms of her emotional growth or her ability to kind of, sorry if this is getting all like psychological and shit, but like her ability to kind of, I don't know, her emotional framework, whatever you want to call it, I think it's stunted compared to them. She's probably like 5 years behind them in terms of like her ability to kind of deal with these emotions. She can make them, she can form them, these bonds, but she doesn't really know how to deal with kind of all the rigors that come with a relationship.
Flush him, Will.
the big guy sent me. I love this whole sequence right here. Mm-hmm. It literally feels like something out of a nightmare. Which essentially for him it basically is. It's like him reliving his like love. Look at it right here.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
I'm thinking I'm trying to figure out. Are they using a wide angle lens for this? I'm not sure.
It's hard to tell.
And I love how coming up, that whole cryptic, is Bob evil speech is gonna come, and the way they cut it and they intertwine it with the upcoming scene is done so masterfully. Like I love it, and it was such a great exclamation point to the end of this episode, and also in doing so, it basically raises the stakes of what Stranger Things is. Like it heightens them to like a level that I did not think it was gonna reach in this season. That thing would be moving under his hat so much.
Yeah, not to mention it just would not stay up there.
Yeah, but whatever. It's
cute.
We'll let that go. See, I'm such a gloom and doom bastard that I would kind of love to live in a town that just looked like this. Okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's following Bob's advice, right? His stand up to your bully advice, basically. Yup. Be brave, right?
Expose yourself completely to the bully. Oh, Will. This is exactly what it wanted.
I know, and then... Oh.
Infiltration time.
And then the show turns to the Twister.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, this is... Fuck you, Bob.
And it kind of almost feeds into your theory. Like it's almost like no, he told them exactly what to do, so what he wanted to have happen could happen. But yeah, no, I love that. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for chapter 3. We'll catch you guys on chapter 4. Peace.
Peace.